Hey, what's up everybody? All right, we're going to tackle a very common problem from beginner to more advanced students. I mean, something that I really focus on is trying to cut down on musculature and range of motion. This is going to be a range of motion exercise. We're going to do it with the pentatonic first and then the chromatic scale afterwards, just to kind of double up on benefits and whatnot. So I did have a student, I was teaching a class, we were doing some pentatonic stuff, and this is so common right off the gate. It's just not something that anyone is really thinking about, especially once they're getting into pentatonic playing, but it's also good to tackle earlier in your playing as just a bad habit and something to kill. So it was a lot of this. Kind of playing the pentatonic, fingers kind of widespread, pulling way off the guitar neck, just a problem that we all see. So how we're going to tackle this is we're going to be doing hammer-ons down the pentatonic. Now, I want you guys, there's another little benefit to this exercise, and that is like proper hand position. Again, something that's great to train in, but it'll become muscle memory. You don't have to use it in your playing. If you guys ever watch any videos of me playing, I definitely pull back and kind of use this safety, back here and kind of grip the guitar neck a little bit, but I'm still training to keep proper hand position, so I can always go back to that if I need to, and that kind of switching in between becomes a default rather than only locking in back here. So I do want you guys to try and keep your fingers as parallel to the frets as you can while doing this. The reason is I want you guys to use your pinky instead of your third finger when you go down the pentatonic. As you can see, once I get here, this positioning is not great. Definitely happens when I'm playing, but not really while I'm training and doing exercises. So if I can bring this down and use my pinky, it's a little bit better. And we're gonna build pinky strength. Let's get into it. If you guys get this sound, like if you don't use your pinky enough and you can't get that hammer-on sound, that's fine. This exercise is to be focusing on our first finger anyway. So, really quickly, 2 hammer-ons for each string. And then, as you're kind of like watching that exercise and focusing, now I'm pulling up a little bit, but the goal is almost to never fully pull your first finger up off of the strings. You're almost kind of like dragging them down, right? That would be the main goal. Obviously, that's a little bit more difficult and something that I don't want you guys to focus on. I want you to just focus on getting to the next string. If you guys can do just like that, that's a fast enough motion, even if you're popping up, to train your finger. You won't be able to do that from here, right? If you get those 2 hammer-ons. And your hammer-ons won't happen that clean if this finger is not stationary, right? If I were to just do a continuation of those hammer-ons, that finger is staying right where it needs to be. It never has to pull up. So that's the first exercise. Going quickly through, but cleanly. You want to make sure that you're not getting any of these, that kind of sound. Down, doing your hammer-ons, and then on the way back up, this tends to be a little bit more difficult, so you can go a little slower, is just doing your pull-offs. And the same deal, to make that quick jump, your first finger is going to have to stay down as much as possible. So that exercise has a bunch of benefits. It's a really great strengthening exercise too. I can kind of like feel it already in here. Let's move on. As we're playing lead, and doing more scalar stuff, especially with the pentatonic, it's really more on our first finger to stay down, right? So these fingers are obviously gonna pop up a lot more, which is totally fine, especially if you guys are doing hammer-ons. You're gonna need a little bit more room to get that kind of speed and velocity to get that. So that's totally fine. Let's now work on the chromatic exercise, which will try to even out the rest of our fingers. And that is this, and I love this one. You just, like the chromatic exercises that we're always doing, kind of starting on the 5th fret, just giving me a nice 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you guys to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want you to leave your fingers down. And I have done this exercise before if you guys have seen the past videos, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're not going to move your finger until it's ready, until it needs to be moved, until it's next. So technically, other than that quick motion of whatever finger you're moving, all 4 fingers are down at all times, right? Down at all times, quick move, quick move, quick move, quick move. That's it. Whoop. Now, another great benefit, as you could hear like some of those click notes, another great benefit is the only way to do this is proper hand positioning. So you can see my hand is underneath, right here. It's not pulled back. That's like, oh my, I don't even know if I'd be able to do that. Barely. So it helps because you want to pull your hand in this way to kind of give your pinky that leverage to get up and over the string, so you're not kind of blocking the string below. The other benefit about this is going to be relaxation. You're going to squeeze a lot harder to force all of your fingers to stay down. You don't have to do that. So try, I always tell my students to pick really light. If you're picking really light, it tends to relax this hand too, right? It doesn't take any more pressure to keep your fingers down, right? It just is a little bit more difficult and you're concentrating a lot. So I want you guys to take those exercises. Let me know how it goes. Don't hurt yourself if you feel like you're overexerting and squeezing down a little too much. But these exercises are awesome because it's muscle memory. So this is not something that you have to think about in your playing. It's just something that's naturally gonna go from, when you're doing your exercises into your playing, and it helps all levels and in like every facet of playing. So enjoy. I'll talk to you guys soon.